Hello everyone, and welcome to TFT Presents Making the Rounds, and we're making the rounds with, today, Ninja Spectre, aka Jordan.
Hello everybody.
We're also making the rounds with a special guest, newcomer, fan favorite, Jason, aka C190.
Thank you. More compliments, please.
All of the compliments. So we're going to be reviewing Plastic Memories. As the host, I'm going to be gracious and hand the reviewing process off to Jason.
Okay.
Just sort of give us your feelings about the characters or music or just whatever stuck out to you, man.
Okay. I liked the entire concept of the show. It was interesting. It reminded me a lot of iRobot. If you've seen that before. I can't really remember too much about the music, so to me if I can't remember it, it doesn't stand out very much to me. I know I watched the opening a couple times. I thought it was pretty good, but the music during the show I don't think stood out. I'm trying to think. All the characters, I don't know. To me, every single character felt like something I've seen before in other shows. I don't know if anyone else got that feeling. Like every single character reminded me of something I've seen before. Nothing felt too specific. Like nothing felt all that unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's not necessarily a huge problem. It's just as far as characters go, it's nothing special. I mean, the visuals of the show were all pretty good. I didn't think there was any real bad animation quality. But I don't remember the last time I've seen a show recently that's had bad animation quality, so it's really not something I expect anymore at this point. Like, if I saw a show that had bad animation quality, it would stand out so much more to me than any other show, I think.
Yeah? Fair enough. Jordan, go ahead and... Or, excuse me, I'm sorry, did you want to go over the story at all, Jason, or...
Well, yeah. I think the story is probably the most I have. I mean, as far as what I thought about it. So I think the beginning of the story was really good, where they were. How much into spoilers are we allowed to get?
Go ahead and spoil as much as you want, because we always slap a warning: spoilers are going to happen, kind of thing on the front.
Okay, spoilers are going to happen. So the first half of the story is basically, explaining what goes on in this universe, in this world, where a company can create AI robots that are exactly like humans. That's what I was talking about before, how it kind of reminded me of iRobot. And basically, they have a lifespan, right? And after that lifespan, they have to take those robots away, otherwise they go berserk. And I thought that part was really interesting because it showed all the different relationships that everyone had. I thought the most interesting one was the one where it was like older sister / parental figure, where for like an orphan child. I thought that one was super cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then the thing where I kind of started to lose interest was the love story part.
Oh really?
I think it took up too much of the time, when I kind of like it's not like I kind of knew what was going to happen. Like, it wasn't like nothing was a surprise. It didn't really feel like it was all kind of
you were more invested in the universe
obvious
than the actual character.
Yeah, I
interaction.
was much more interested in the different relationships that other people had with their robots. I mean, I guess technically this one was another relationship, but I think I liked the other ones because it felt more like a short story for each relationship, and then the love interest at the end was kind of felt dragged out to me, like it was like a long process, and I'm like 2 episodes into like their relationship thing, it's like you already know what's gonna happen, so it's like they're gonna be sad because she's gonna be gone, and then that's gonna be the end of it. I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I really liked the first half of the story. The second half kind of dwindled for me. That's about all I have to say about the story.
Okay.
Fair enough. How do you feel about the anime, Jordan?
I personally love this. This was actually one of my favorite animes of this past season. The music in it was wonderful. Well, how to say this? The ending and the beginning intro, like the intros and outros, were fantastic. I love them. Very fitting for the actual mood of the show. But, like Siwon said, like, kind of like the score was just kind of like...
It was kind of weak.
Yeah, just nothing there, but it wasn't necessary. Like, you're not going to have something amazing like, Full Metal Alchemist from the show, since it was only a 13-episode series, so more put it into the characters and everything like that. Yeah, and it showed when it came to visuals. Like, it looked fantastic. They had a very interesting... It was a little bit, darker, thicker lines for this one, and they had, like, the white, like... How to say this? Like, white outer lines on them. It looked kind of shiny a little bit, like when it came to the hair and everything. It's very unique, in my opinion, compared to most animes. But, it was great. Looked fantastic. Looked like they put effort into it. When it comes to the characters, like, you got the classic tsundere, you got the tropes and everything like that. The typical protagonists, love interest and all that. But I felt like the characters, it wasn't about the characters themselves, it was more about the interactions with the characters. Like the interactions between each other. Like Siwon said, the different stories and how they interacted with the androids of the universe, or Giftias. That part, like, even I was brought into it, like, brought into the story because I was like, ooh, cyberpunk, androids and all that. I was really interested in it. And then that didn't seem like the whole world didn't seem like the actual point, in my opinion. It was more about the motifs that they were trying to put out. Like, for instance, like the whole dealing with loss. I felt like this was all like about dealing with grief and loss. For instance, what was her name? The tsundere, the redheaded, the orange-haired chick.
Oh,
yeah, her.
I don't remember her name. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're saying, like, tsundere. I'm like, I've seen that character a million
times.
But
you know who we're talking about in this particular show, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and like you got her, you got the typical pervert guy and everything, and then you got the typical protagonist. But going to the tsundere girl, she had her interesting story how she hates like certain people because of how, and how she treats like the android human relationships because of, her father turned into, basically went insane. And,
because her father
and was gunned down right in front of her. So, and, she carries her baggage and all that. But, like I said, it wasn't about exactly that. It was like, it was about the character's backstory and everything. It was about him, Tsukasa, the main protagonist, and like how he dealt with death. And basically what this is like, he's got a short amount of time with her, make the most time with it. And that's why I love unlike you, I really loved the love story because I felt really invested in it because I was like, I want him to make as much memories as possible with her.
Yeah.
Because
I think I found why I didn't like the love story, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can.
You can finish. You'll believe me why.
Yeah, I'll get into it later in our roundtable discussion. But yeah, it wasn't even about the overall story. It was about the motifs that the story set.
Yeah. So, I guess since Jordan's completed his review, I'll go into my review a bit. You guys both made great points. I felt like the outro and the intro were fantastic. I loved the sort of like very subtle piano. The score itself was kind of weak, but I feel like it was less of a score, but more like sound effects or mood music. Because it wasn't like music you would hear throughout the whole entire show. It was more like a subtle piano, like a very somber, subtle piano when something sad happens and blah, blah, blah. It was very like nuanced-y kind of, so there wasn't really much music to begin with. Visuals, spot on. I like them. Very shiny, very pretty, but, like Seawan previously mentioned, there are very few animes that aren't spectacularly, gorgeous now these days. They all have their own different style, and some of them fit it more of an archetypal thing. I saw a lot of tropes and archetypal characters throughout the series. However, like you both mentioned, it's the motifs, it's the universe, it's the nuance they have to deal with when it comes to interacting with the androids and that kind of thing. When it comes to the story, I actually, really early on, I made a prediction because I wanted it to take like a super left turn and just the company's lying, they can actually live for a lot longer than 2 years, and it just goes into this sort of espionage kind of thing. I thought that would be a very interesting twist. I'm like, oh, this would be cool. I'm sure it won't happen, but if it does, that would be fucking cool. It was more of a slice of life romance with a little bit of sadness in it. But yeah, so
I have something to say about that, and we'll talk about later in the.
Most certainly. So overall, I really enjoyed this anime. It probably won't make my top 25 anime I've seen of all time, but probably the top 50. But I've seen a lot of fucking anime, so it's I'm a little jaded, I guess. But it's still great anime. I loved it. And let's go ahead and switch into the roundtable portion of this conversation.
Yeah.
See, when you previously mentioned you wanted to defend your not liking the love story.
Okay, so I just looked through my Crunchyroll history of what I was watching at the same time. So it wasn't that the love story was particularly bad. I just happened to be watching at the same time the second or third season of Nisekoi. At the same time, I was also watching My Love Story.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu. Or My Teen Romantic.
So it was going up.
Romance
So it was going up against.
So it was going up against really, really good anime.
Yeah.
That just blew love stories out the water.
That's
so
yeah.
So compared to those, I was like, eh.
I had just gotten off of watching what was it? Your Lie in April, which was another tragic romance.
I haven't seen that.
It's
one
a good one. You should go and watch it.
I know. I've heard that. I need to make sure I'm happy enough. Yeah. Watching another really sad.
Yeah. The Plastic Memories. I got a little teary-eyed at the very end.
Oh.
I was depressed for days after Golden Time. Jesus
God. No, but this is one of the few animes that actually legitimately made me cry at the end.
Agreed. Unfortunately.
And I was like, oh, I knew this was all going to happen. I'm like, but I'm still extremely sad.
I think it's the way the characters handled it,
Yeah.
It's just that kind of reality existing, and how the anime crafted the reality to make it feel like it was real, like it's a believable thing you could exist in.
Oh yeah, and that's why you were talking about earlier, you were expecting it to go into espionage and all that. I really deep down I felt the same way. I was like, I really wanted it to be something there's actually a way to save them and all that.
Yeah, exactly. The optimist in me, man.
There is something sneaky going on with the 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's they only last for 7 years so we can make money because we're like Apple and all the other phone companies.
Mom.
Yeah. It's every 2 years get a new phone. It's better than the last one, we promise. That kind of thing.
Yeah. But I think it's great that they didn't do it. It would have ruined the feel of the anime if they had stuck with a espionage, or they went to switch to an espionage. I think it was great. I feel the very end they could have taken the 2 episodes where it was leading up to her eventual death and cut it down into 1 or maybe 1.5 episodes, and then done an extra episodes showing him with his new Giftia, which it's going to be Isla, just with a new personality. So. Which I was actually wanting to ask you guys, do you think that was Isla? The same Isla body?
Do you think he gave in and was a wand,
No, I'm saying when they gave him his replacement, it was actually Isla's body, her form, but she has a different personality.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, it probably is in all likelihood. You know, if she
Yeah.
works for the company, it's owned by the company, right? Or maybe it's the same model.
Maybe.
Because it's not the
possible.
body that fails, it's the mind, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the mind can't last as long. So the body isn't dysfunctional, it's the mind that's dysfunctional or
Yeah.
not working. So it would make sense that they would keep the bodies and then just update the software or AI or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they said they were doing.
Yeah.
That was like one of the 2 or 3 options or whatever that they had. Is they'll bring you back the same body but with a brand new mind, and that's like, I think that's what like the old lady did, right, with her
Yeah.
fake granddaughter the entire
Uh,
time. She just
That
Was
was
it?
one of the characters. It wasn't the first old lady we met. It was
no,
Yeah.
it was one of the ones that was like she was no problem. She'd done the thing a million times where like she was just like, yeah, just reboot her and bring her back.
it was a
Thank you.
midterm sort of episode
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, Skasa Skasa, whatever you want to fucking call him, realizes that it's not about like she and cherish the memories that she crafted with each individual. Who cares if it's a new personality, new body? It's a new person. It's her new granddaughter. You know, it's kind of messed
Right.
up, but at the same time, it's kind of endearing because
Yeah.
it's like you get to meet a new person and make new memories to
Yeah.
cherish. So it's that point where Skasa realizes that, you know, it's not as bad, but it's still bad.
Yeah.
I guess when it comes to the loss.
Well, I mean, technically, it's almost like someone you, assuming you keep doing it, someone you care about dies every 7 years.
Yeah.
It's
That's
pretty fucked up.
it's that can be kind of disappointing. But I mean, at the same time, you know, that's someone you would never met if that technology never existed.
Like,
So I mean,
like,
it has its ups and downs.
yeah, like they said, cherish the memories you had. Don't like worry about like losing them so much and losing them over the loss, but cherish the memories you do have with them. Don't let it taint your forward, perspective. But like I said, this show really hit home with me when it comes to like love and loss and everything. I actually lost my dad like 5 years ago, and it really hit me hard. And this
I
this
don't-
like hit every single element of like what I was feeling. Like I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to like let go and everything like that. And then it was just like, but they hit home with the message of memories, and it's like, but were your memories with him good? Could they have been any better? Like, does it affect it? Does it help you in your forward thinking?
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think I've really had a major loss like that in a long time, so I don't think I didn't have that same connection.
Yeah. But
So I could see how that would affect more people.
I'm just
sense.
a giant pussy. Like, I don't know. It probably has to do with the fact that I have a large ability to empathize and sympathize with people, even if I like think they're an asshole and something bad happened to them. You know, it's hard for me to dissociate myself with them and remember that they're an asshole unless I really fucking hate you. Like, it takes a lot of hatred and just bitterness and anger for me to not empathize or sympathize with you, which is something I struggle with, So so it was kind of cool to relate to Skasa in that way, because he seemed a very empathetic person as well, much to his archetypal tropial character, but still.
yeah, there's one more.
Like,
There's one more point I wanted to make. This is my last point that I wanted to bring up. I'm so glad, like, everything, I felt like they made the right decision when it came to, like, how the story flowed. Like, I was so afraid that they were going to do, like, oh, here's the retrieval of the week, and all that type of things, and, like, you learn a little new lesson here and there, kind of like how the long form animes do nowadays. Like, lesson of the week, and I think it went well with, like, he had a couple hard-hitting episodes, like the couple cases, and they last a couple, like, and it's like, here's the case, here's the repercussions from that case, what they learned and everything. And, I think that really did well for the flow of the show. And that's what worked with me.
Awesome. Any closing points you want to make, Siwan?
No, I mean, I think it was a good show. It definitely was not the best of the spring season. This is when it came out, right? Spring?
Yeah, spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too many others that were on at that same time that beat the show in every category, at least in one way. But I mean, it was good. I mean, if you feel like watching a sad romantic
Slice of life.
maybe you call part of it a comedy,
Yeah.
slice of life. Yeah, that's definitely slice of life. If you feel like watching a slice of life and you haven't seen all the other top ones yet, I would say watch this one.
Yeah.
But I'd say there's a lot others that do this story, or well, not this story, but this slice of life type style a little better.
Mhm.
But other than that, it was good. I'd give it like a 6 or like 6.5 out of 10 type score probably.
So, overall,
Plus it's short,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's only like
13
13
episodes.
episodes.
You can munch on that.
So
pretty-
it doesn't take a whole long time to watch.
Exactly. So, if you were to say, if I were to ask, hey, do you recommend this anime? Would you recommend it?
I would if they had not seen other ones that I think are
So you
better
would
lives.
with a caveat. Okay. What
Yes.
what about you?
If it was like a completely new person coming into anime, I would not suggest this to be their
Yeah,
first
it wouldn't be their first one. Maybe like their 10th or something like that.
especially because of all the character tropes. I think you have to kind of already have experienced that in anime to understand. Like, I don't know if it's better that I experienced anime or if those would have like just put you off if you weren't experienced
Yeah,
the
so maybe
anime.
like your 5th
I
or
know-
10th kind of anime deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you, Jordan? Would you recommend the show?
I've watched a lot of anime too, and I guess it's just personal preference. I really recommend this. Like, it was literally one of my favorite shows in the past couple years. Maybe it's because I had built more of like an emotional connection with the show. Like, I actually bonded with it.
Yeah.
I know not many people do with certain shows, but it's up to you guys. But I personally highly recommend it. So,
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sort of in the middle when it comes to this. Like, I feel like it should definitely be an anime you watch eventually. So I will recommend it.
also it's really short, so it's
Yeah, it's
very
really short,
palatable.
so it's easy to it's very easy to jump on. It's like an episode a day kind of thing, and you'll be done in 13 days. Or if you want to do 2 or more, yeah. So I'd extremely recommend the Plastic Memories. It was good. I liked it. Alrighty, so that is the time allotted to us, gentlemen. Thank you guys so much out there on the internet for watching TFT Presents Making the Rounds, or just simply Making the Rounds. And we will see you next week with what? Who knows? Bye, everybody!
Bye.
Peace.